Hey guys, welcome back to Etheria Restart. So in today's video, they just put out a tweet with an update to the patch notes. If we go over here, we have some nerfs to Inferno difficulties coming. Now, there was some stuff in the patch notes about things like, I think, Sharon and stuff from Hell and below now not being immune to poison. I don't think that's going to change for Inferno. I think we're still going to be stuck on that. But at least this is a great start. I'm happy to see this sort of thing. I didn't expect when, we were asking for changes to the Inferno difficulties. I've actually got a whole video that me and Sean B recorded a day and a half ago that I was going to get up early and edit together and put up. I will still put that video up because it's kind of like a state of the game discussion, but I'll put a disclaimer at the start saying we are getting some progression on this front. But this is a great start. So for me, I think as long as they're paying attention to what's happening and players' feedback in the Inferno territory and making adjustments, even if they are slight adjustments, at least it is a movement in the right direction. So I am really, really happy with this. And I think one of the ones here, let's just zoom in a little bit so we can see it. So Inferno, Niko Nana, and Terramaton have received a slight difficulty reductions. Come test your skills, yada, yada, yada. Okay, Inferno, Niko Nana, Grim Pursuit. Nerfs, HP minus 10%. Great if you're trying to deal damage. Speed minus 10%. The speed on Niko Nana is actually a really big one because she has the damage mitigation based on her speed versus your speed. So the speed down is actually really good for dealing more damage as well. Then we have the skill friendly match. Additional damage reduction adjusted from 60% to 90%. That is what I really like. So one of my biggest complaints with going into Inferno was that we didn't have an entry level Inferno. I still think this is on my alt account, by the way, so I don't have it. I'm not at the level yet for it, but with all the other progression gaps throughout the game, when we get into like hell mode, especially like the hell mode was where it first started, but even back over here when you get to Fabian, when you unlock it, it's like that entry level way to farm some shells because it wasn't overly hard, so that you could get some black flags and get your Twilight Knight, and you could farm those shell upgrades to then help you go ahead and beat the harder content in the module farming. That was the same through Fabian, and then it jumped into Niko Nana when we got to Hell mode, which is where this account is currently at, where you get to Hell Niko Nana. On my account, it's a perfect example because I've just gone through that farming where I've built up my White Fang and I've built up 4 artisans, and like it's just a really nice progression because that progression there allows you to jump in, and you can see now I am farming Doki Doki Hell 4 on day 6 of this account because I went through that nice progression path of unlock Hell, farm Niko Nana, build up the shells, which can help you progress into the dungeons, and now I can go ahead and farm the dungeons. It was a really nice progression path. Then we hit Inferno, and it just felt like a massive brick wall. Now, I did do a whole free-to-play team that you guys can use for this, but it does have very high, like really high gear requirements, and it requires you to play around with some funny units. And I think the big thing was, compared to where it was in the beta, it just felt like an absolute brick wall, and it felt like we've lost that progression gap. So what my hope is, and we'll have to just, once again, you guys keep leaving me your feedback, I'll keep passing on the feedback. But I think what this here does with Niko Nana is kind of brings back that idea of having a progression gap. I think the big thing is this passive. Starts with 90% extra damage reductions. When attacked, reduces the extra damage reduction by 1.5% for every 1 additional speed the attacker possesses compared to the unit. Now, you got to keep in mind, with this, it's going to get reduced down to a 60% base reduction, but Niko Nana is also going to be have her speed reduced by 10. So you're getting 10 times that 1.5. So you're getting an extra 15% knocked off of that just through virtue of her having that 10 speed off compared to where you would have otherwise been. Unless my math's wrong on that. Listen, it's late. I was in bed. I was ready to go to sleep and I saw this. So I got up out of bed, put some clothes on and came out. But I think that is going to be the big thing here with Niko Nana. And I think that is going to make her a much more entry level friendly type unit, type boss to come here and farm. And once again, try and get those Inferno drops. Now, I do think we have to get some sort of adjustment to the Inferno drops. Like, I was farming this on my main account over on stream, and I was getting like, you know, like 7 yellows out of 8 runs and stuff like that. Like, I was just getting yellows upon yellows upon yellows in this thing. And, dude, it just feels bad. If they want to keep the yellows in there, just increase that when you do get the mythics, like, and make the mythics have the extra stat more often, because it just feels so damn dry when you farm these things in Inferno for trying to get these extra, you know, the Fury Edge and Swift Raids. They just feel so damn hard to get. So I would love to see some adjustment there, but once again, it's early days. You got to take everything that we can get. I understand the idea of not wanting to massively change things and like nerf it too hard, and then you're like buffing it again, and then you get into this weird yo-yo. So I'm glad that we are getting some sort of entry level change to Niko Nana especially. Now, the other change that is happening is over on Terramaton. So we got Terramaton threshold nerfs, 20% HP reduction across Terramaton. Basically the Terramaton and both the arms, that's the way I read this. Terramaton and both the arms are getting a 20% reduction in their HP. I am still not someone who farms Terramaton on either of my accounts. Now, this account has got all the Didding luck, so maybe this means I will build up Didding, and maybe I look to farming Terramaton earlier than I previously was. You can see we've got our Didding at 3 dupes already. So maybe, you know, during some pulls, maybe I get a couple more Diddings, max him out, and then this dude is absolutely ready to go ahead and nuke some Terramaton. So I'm not too sure. I'll pay attention to it, but once again, my accounts aren't set up for Terramaton at the moment. We have been seeing some cheesy comps going on over in Terramaton. If we go back over to it, in the module drop, in the Inferno, the Revenge team with the what's her face, the Hoyan. I mean, some of these are on Inferno gear, so it's kind of, you know, if I still think what you'll see for recent clears is all poisons. So we'll have to see some more teams evolve over here. Maybe this reduction makes it more farmable with the damage types, like the raw damage type source, as opposed to poisons, because even though we have the fast clear times here, which are abusing the cheesiness of the Hoyan, it doesn't appear that this is reliable. Based on the fact that it's nowhere in the recent clears. If it was reliable, you think people would be farming with it, but it's still, everyone is just farming with the poison. So I'm not too sure. I'm not completely across the Hoyan team exactly whether it's reliable on getting Hoyan to be killed and revenged and all that sort of stuff, but you can see the rest of it is still the poisons. So what my hope is from this one is that this allows, you know, more teams to evolve into Terramaton and actually be able to do stuff there. I think this may give Terramaton an entry-level access. Once again, I feel like the Niko Nana change is the biggest one for me here, because it lets you get to Inferno and hopefully have an easier time being able to farm something in Inferno. I'm still leaning towards Doki. I'm farming Doki Inferno on my other account. This new account, I'm going to try and make a full free-to-play Doki Inferno team. I don't know how well it'll go. At this stage, I'm still abusing Hell 4 using Messiah because I'm 2 weeks behind on this account. But I do think there is still hope with Doki. I will get back to you guys as I evolve my account and try and get this done with like a full free-to-play team. But yes, that is kind of where I'm looking at the moment. I still think Doki is like Doki was the most balanced, I feel like, out of all the Infernos. But now that nerf to Terramaton, maybe that makes it more accessible to more people. And like I said, I still think the big thing in this update is going to be the nerf to the Niko Nana, which is a great thing. Hopefully some people will notice when this update happens that they couldn't do Niko Nana Inferno before, and now they can, because I think that damage reduction change is massive, along with the speed reduction and the HP reduction. I think that's going to just combine and make Niko Nana a lot better for people to farm. Anyway, I kind of rambled a bit there. Like I said, I did record a whole video with Sean B going over the state of the game. I will still upload that video and just make the disclaimer at the start that they have adjusted some of this stuff, which is good, because all I basically in that video I just said, just say something. Let us know that you've heard it and that you're not doing something, or that you are doing something. At least we know now they are doing something, and it looks like they are monitoring feedback from the player base. So that is a great thing to see, and hopefully it continues and we can just keep evolving the game, and hopefully it just keeps getting better from here. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this one. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.